I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CB checking in. And guys, I want to discuss a little more about this ongoing saga between some of the Errol Spence Jr. fans and Terence Crawford. You know, because it just seems to be never ending here in the boxing space. But before I do that, I first want to address some of these Canelo Alvarez fans out there. And I'll start off by saying I am a fan of Canelo. You know, I think he's a great fighter. I just happen to be a bigger fan of Terence Crawford. And I expect hardcore Canelo Alvarez fans to really get behind their guy leading up to this fight. It's just a given. But when I see comments like this, I have to address those type of comments. Because, I just shake my head when I see them. And let me read it to you guys real quick. It says, well, it starts off with an insult, of course. It says, Crawfish is overhype. Stop. Crawfish has, I guess that's supposed to be hasn't. It says, has fought anyone worthy, LOL. What's the LOL thing about? I don't get the LOL thing. You know, they always do that. But anyway, I see comments like that, and I just shake my head. Because here you have a guy in Terence Crawford who is seen as the pound-for-pound king. Not just from ordinary boxing fans like me and you, but by his peers. You know, guys like Alexander Usyk, who is a 3-time undisputed champion himself. Guys like Dimitri Bivol, who's an undisputed champion. Guys like Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. And guys like your guy, Canelo Alvarez. He thinks he's a top fighter as well. So am I supposed to believe those guys, or am I supposed to believe you? I'm going to stick with those guys, because, you know, that stuff, that when you write stupid comments like that, that lets me know, you know, you're just full of it. You're full of hogwash. And I just have to shake my head at it, like I said. But anyway, I just wanted to address that. Now, let's talk about this Errol Spence Jr. stuff. Now, I happen to be a fan of Errol Spence Jr. as well. And I talked about this. I talked about how I, was a big fan of Errol Spence Jr. over Crawford. That was my guy. You know, I went to a lot of Errol Spence Jr. fights. But when this fight was going to happen, I went and I studied Crawford. I studied him. I went back and I watched tape. I watched his other fights. I looked at what he brought to the table. And when I made my prediction video, even though I was an Errol Spence Jr. fan, I picked Crawford to win the fight. Now, that ruffled some feathers. But the reason I did that is because I am truly objective. I know what I saw, and I just saw that Crawford was the better fighter, and I thought he had the better arsenal. And I can't remember what round I predicted. I think I was off one round about Errol Spence being stopped in the fight. And people thought I was insane to say that. And you guys saw what happened. And yeah, just like a lot of you guys, some guys, I got over that. But I picked right. Now, some of these guys, they just can't seem to let it go. They can't. They're emotionally involved. It's like, Errol's their boyfriend. These man fans out here, they can't let it go. Some of these YouTubers out here as well, you guys see them. They're making videos every day trying to defame Crawford, calling him a drug cheat. He's never failed a drug test, but yet he's a drug cheat. Slander is on and on and on and on, and it's crazy to me. What are you guys doing? You can't find it in your heart to give a guy props who actually deserves it. A guy who's fought his way to the top, who's maneuvered through all these obstacles that were put in his way, and here he is in the biggest fight in boxing, on one of the biggest platforms in the world, and you can't deal with it. This is absolutely crazy to me. I don't get it. We should be celebrating the fact that Terence Crawford, an American, a true American hero, has made it to this point despite everything put in his way. But no, we can't have that. We can't have that. It's always got to be some tear down tactic. But I tell you what, regardless of whether Crawford wins or loses, he's made it. He's made it to the pinnacle. And there's nothing that the haters can do about it. Nothing. But we're going to see September 13th if he's able to pull this off. If he's able to pull this off, he's becoming 3-time undisputed and beating the face of boxing. He's an all-time great. He will be an all-time great. We're going to see. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this one in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.